The next topic of macronutrition is protein and lipids. Protein is an important part of life and nutrition. It is a substance that composes a large portion of a child's body structure. Protein are made up of amino acids arranged in different combination. Next to water, protein is the most abundant substance in the child's body. It is a part of all body cells and is a vital building block in the growth, maintenance and repair of the body tissues. The word protein refers to a type of molecule in food that can be broken down into amino acids. Protein are large, complex molecules that plays many critical role in the child's body. They do most of the work in cells and are required for structure, functions and regulations of the body's tissue and organs. The body needs 20 amino acids. As a biological machine, it can create 11 of them itself. However, there are 9 called essential amino acids that the body cannot create and has to gain through the consumption of food. When a child eats, the body breaks down the protein in food in order to create the amino acids that it needs. Thus, protein are required for growth, maintenance and repair of the body. It can also supply energy. Meat, fish, poultry, dairy products, legumes and grains can provide protein. Proteins are made up of different combinations of amino acids. Protein provide 4 calories or grams. We need about 10 to 35% of our diet to come from proteins. They are crucial for tissue repairs and growth of children. Protein also provide essential hormones, amino acids, enzyme and immune functions. Protein is a backup source of energy and it also helps the child to maintain lean muscle mass. The best protein bets are lean meats, fish, poultry, lean cheese and milk, soy, legumes and some seed. Most people when they hear the word protein straight away think meat, and that is right, but protein is found in far more than just meat. Milk, cheese, yogurt, egg, legumes, nuts and seeds, whole grains all provide good amount of protein. Protein is used to build muscles, which is very important for children's development. However, it is not quite as basic as that because protein is used for more than just building muscles. When protein is digested, it is broken down to amino acids. There are basically 22 amino acids and in various combination. They all do important things in the body. 8 of these amino acids must come from the food a child eats. They cannot be made in the body. These are basically called essential amino acids. From all these amino acids, every cell, structure and organ in the body is made, and a child cannot rebuild or repair these tissues without these same amino acids. Animal protein gives a child the essential amino acids, which is why it has an important place in children's diet guidelines. But complete amino acids can be achieved through combining different plant sources of protein as well. Protein are categorized in 2 ways, the first of which is based on how they are obtained. 9 amino acids are labeled as essential because they are obtained from food and 11 are considered non-essential since they are manufactured by the body. Protein are also categorized depending on the amount of essential amino acids they contain. Complete protein have all the essential amino acids while incomplete protein contains limited amount of amino acids and needs to be paired a complementary one. Now let us see why protein is important for a child. Proteins are very important for children as they help their body grow. Proteins are the source of amino acids which are the building blocks of a child's body. Amino acids helps the development of muscles, bones, skins and various organs in children. The enzymes which are catalysts of body growth are protein produced by the body. As children grows, their immune system also keeps improving and maturing. Protein also plays an important role in the working and development of the immune system. Many hormones which are important to regulate the behavior of various body functions are also called protein. For example, insulin is a protein. Protein and amino acids also plays a critical role in the repair and maintenance of the body. Cell tissue is repaired and regenerated using protein. In fact, Hemoglobin, which is responsible for transporting oxygen to various parts of the body, is also a protein. It is, however, a protein that is made by the body from amino acids. Thus, protein is important as it builds blocks of our cells. They make up the framework upon which all cells are built. Because babies are growing by building new cells, they require plenty of high quality protein. Babies needs protein for their hormonal growth and development. Breast milk and formula provides adequate amount of protein during the early months. When a baby weans to table food, a mother needs to replace the protein no longer being supplied by the formula or breast milk. A 6-month to 1 year old needs about 13 to 15 grams of protein a day. Toddlers need 13 to 19 grams. Excellent source of protein including the dairy products, eggs, meats, fish, poultry and soybeans or foods containing a good amount of these foods. Many plant food also supply protein, although its quality is not as complete as animal source of protein, but by providing a variety of plants foods that contain protein such as legumes, nuts, in the form of nut butter until they are 3, seeds and grain, child can get the protein they require. By including one good source of protein at every meal, a baby or toddlers should receive the adequate nutrition they need. Now let us see what are the high protein foods which can be provided for our babies. Protein is necessary in a baby's diet because it supports the health of cells, tissue and organs as a baby grows. Some sources of protein are considered complete while others should be combined with foods that also contain protein. For example, pasta. It is not considered a complete protein, but combined with peas or beans, the mixture of the two becomes one. Many complete sources of protein are baby-friendly foods that can be incorporated into child diets when child is old enough. So we have here eggs, chickens, dairy products and infant cereals. Egg are considered a complete protein and egg yolks can be mashed and given to a baby as a part of healthy diet. Chicken has a milder taste than other meats and is a good source of complete protein that a baby can eat. The chicken should be diced very small to prevent choking. Dairy products. Protein is abundant in dairy products such as milk, yogurts and cheese. A baby should be 8 months old before cheese is introduced and dairy should be avoided altogether if an allergy is suspended. Babies under 1 year of age should still be drinking formula of breast milk, which provides protein. After age 1, he or she can drink cow milk, a good source of complete protein. Yogurt and cheese can be served as a snacks or as a part of healthy meal to help meet a baby's protein required for the day. Infant cereals. For babies too young to consume chunky solid foods, infant cereals helps meet protein needs. The cereal is mixed with breast feeds or formula which helps make it a complete protein. Infant cereals is generally recommended as the first solid food and does not typically pose an allergy concern for most infants. The next type of macronutrition is fats. Fat is an important part of a healthy diet. Children need it to grow up healthy and strong. Fats are an integral part of every cell. They are used to make vitamin D and hormones. They protect the entire nerve systems and they also protect to transport some vitamins into the child's. Thus, lipids are commonly called fats or oil. Lipids are a concentrated form of energy. Foods high in saturated fatty acids may promote certain disease. Foods high in unsaturated fatty acids may help prevent certain disease. Good fat is absolutely essential to good health. It provides something that no other nutrients can and is something that we cannot live without. The building blocks of fatty acids perform critical functions in a child's body. In children, these are utterly essential for the development. That is, it is important for the brain and nerve system, the endocrine system, which means the hormones, the eyes, and the digestive system. Now let us see what are the benefits of fats for a child. Fat has many roles in the child's body. One of fat's main function is protection. This includes insulations to keep the body temperature and cushioning to protect the body organs. It also promotes growth and development as well as maintaining cell membranes. Fat, in addition, plays a vital role in the digestion of vitamins. Vitamin A, D, E, and K are fat soluble vitamins, that is, they need fat in order to absorb into the body. Thus, fat benefits a child in cushions the organ, it maintains the cell membranes, it helps to promote natural growth and development, and also it helps to absorb some of the most essential vitamins, that is A, D, E, and K. Now let us see the importance of fat. Why a fat is needed for a child. Although fat have received a bad reputation in relation to heart disease and weight gain, some fat in the diet is essential for health and well-being. It is recommended that 20 to 35% of our daily energy requirement should be supplemented through the consumption of fats and oil. In addition to supply energy, fats are needed because it helps to supply fatty acids that the body needs but cannot make, such as omega-3. It is important as it assists with absorption of the fat solution with vitamin A, D, E, and K. It is important because it helps to provide food with the flavor and texture. Now let us see the different types of fats. Fats are categorized in a bunch of different ways. Fats that are in foods are a combination of four main types. The first one is saturated fat. Then we have monounsaturated fats, polyunsaturated fats, and trans fats. Saturated fats are those fats which consist of fatty acids chains that have no double bonds between the carbon atoms of the chain. They are called saturated because they are fully saturated with hydrogen atoms and cannot incorporate. They are solid at room temperature and are most often of animal origin. Saturated fat includes butter, cheese, and creams. These fats provide a concentrated source of energy in the diet and building blocks for cells, membranes, and a variety of hormones and hormone-like substance. The second one is monounsaturated fat. These are composed mostly of monounsaturated fatty acids, meaning molecules with one double bonded carbon, with all the other carbons being single bonded. They are liquid at room temperature. Monounsaturated fat are found in olive, peanuts, and canola oils. The next one is polyunsaturated fats. These fats are composed mostly of fatty acids such as linolenic acids, which have two or more double bonds in each molecule. For example, we have corn oil and saffron oil. The last one is trans fats. Trans fats are basically found in commercially produced baked food, snack food, fast food, and some marinades. Unsaturated fats comes in different chemical structure. A bend form or a straight trans form. When they adopt the trans form, they are called trans fatty acid. They are produced by the partial hydrogenation of vegetable oils and present in hardened vegetable oil, most marinades, these commercial baked foods, and many fried foods. And excess of these fat in the diet is thought to increase the risk of heart disease. So these are the four main important types of fats which we should know. That's all for today. Thank you.